What?
Magic Productions with the world famous William Archibald, starting here right now in studio.
Oops. That was from William's show. I left it in there. Oh, geez. Oh, I see Lisette already clicked and said, hi, Dave. So I don't know if she's out there right now, but
Oh,
anyway.
see, everybody can get my new channel number.
Yeah. Tell everybody what it's called.
Okay, it's called.
Days.
It should be in the. Can you see it up on the screen, Dave?
I can't see it down on the profile thing, so I'm just gonna have to say
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
It's Good Old Days. I3X.
Okay.
Good Old Days has got the G, the capital G for good, the capital O for old, the capital D for days, and then there's a slash mark, and then there's a small case I, a 3, and an X.
Yeah, I think I'll put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Days, plural. Hyphen.
It was YouTube's Christmas gift to me.
Oh, really? 3.
Oh yeah, they hit me with all three, boom, boom, boom. Wipe me right out, right at Christmas. Started on the 24th and finished on the 26th.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you should be talking about that now. You know, AI is getting really that kind of stuff.
Well, they don't know what the name of the channel is, so.
Well, it's in the comments here. Let me see if I can. Let me see if it'll let me copy it.
By the way, I looked at those 5 that I put up. The first one I put up that had the about Venezuela, from the mountains of Venezuela. I think it's at 849 with over 20 views, and then all the rest of them have one view.
Yeah,
I think one has 4, but still just the same. So here I got to go build everything back up again.
Yeah. Good old days, I3X. Okay, and then we'll go. I got one of my keys on my keyboard is not responding very well. I have to push really hard. There we go.
Working now?
There you go. There's Andrew. I've been trying to call you, Andrew.
Andrew, you called me at 3:00 in the morning.
Oh, we did? Well,
yeah.
Andrew.
And it wrote down on there. I didn't see it. Maria woke up. She saw it. Yeah. She's like, and what it read was, "Who is this?"
Yeah. Well, we're experimenting, and now if people tune into this, up above, you'll see a telephone number, and this is the number we're going to be using for the call-in show on a regular basis. I know it takes a while for people to, kind of warm up to that idea, because I see others. I talked to one of my other good friends that's doing it, and he's up to several thousand people already just doing it, but it took him quite a while. He said he put the telephone number out there for almost 3-4 weeks and didn't get one call. So, until finally, and then he gets a lot of repeat callers. So anyway, the way we're working this is you just text your name to that number above, and that way I know it's you, because with spam calling and so forth, I don't want to answer a phone, and it'd be a spam call. So what will happen is I'll just make note of your name, and then we'll call you back. If we get several people, we'll kind of allocate some time to each person, as it goes. And I'm sure we'll work it out. If it becomes successful, we'll work all the kinks out of it. So anyway, that number is 951-943-4005. And I'm Dave, not in Cali. And remember, I'm not in Cali, but you notice the telephone number is. That's because it's one of my old business numbers that I just continued and brought back with me. That's not my personal number. So by calling that, you're really not going to get a hold of me. You'll get a hold of a recording. So, all right. Oh, Andrew says he finally got WhatsApp. So I guess he can call you now, huh?
Yeah, that's right. And Andrew, if you can hear me, tell him to check out the message board there. That I've got my new channel there.
Yeah, I posted. He's posted underneath. Oh,
Okay,
he
good.
just realized that call earlier that I was trying to get a hold of him, he was ignoring because he didn't recognize the telephone number. Yeah. Well, that's the show number there, Andrew. So cool. So anyway, one of the things I thought we could talk about is let me see if I can find the other. Let me see. Bernie Sanders, our buddy Bernie Sanders.
He's got his head so far up and run down his ass. It's
I know,
pathetic.
I got to share this, okay?
Thanks very much for joining me.
You're welcome.
Donald Trump has once again shown his contempt for the Constitution and the rule of law. Let's be clear. The President of the United States does not have the right to unilaterally take this country into war, even against a corrupt and brutal dictator like Maduro. The United States does not.
So one thing I want you to notice is he does, confirm that this guy is, a terrible person. But remember, it's not about what he did. It's all about going against whatever Trump does. It has, that's
Right.
usually Bernie and, his people's whole agenda.
Not have the right, as Trump stated this morning, to run Venezuela. Congress must immediately pass a war powers resolution to end this illegal military operation and reassert its constitutional responsibilities. Trump's attack on Venezuela will not make the United States and the world safer. Quite the contrary. This brazen violation of international law gives a green light to any country on earth that may wish to attack another nation to seize their resources or change their governments. This is the horrific logic of force that Putin used to justify his brutal attack on Ukraine. Trump and his administration have made it clear that they want to revive the Monroe Doctrine, a belief
That's
that
right.
claims the United
They
States
did.
has the right to dominate the affairs of the hemisphere. They have spoken openly about controlling Venezuela's oil reserves, the largest in the world. Let's make no mistake about it. This is rank imperialism. It recalls the darkest chapters of U.S. interventions in Latin America, which have left a terrible legacy. It will and should be condemned by the democratic world. Trump campaigned for president on an America First platform. He claimed to be the peace candidate. Well, at a time when 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, when our healthcare system is collapsing, when people throughout this country cannot afford housing.
60%, did he say? Okay, so
Yeah, he said 60%.
who's the 40%? I mean, everybody I know.
That's Bernie.
Even a lot of people that have a lot of money, still, they pretty much spend.
Now,
what
there's
they
something I want to interject on this before you go back on this.
Okay.
What a lot of things, what the left is not saying is they're not talking the real truth. Now, Trump did make the statement that when he talked about taking oil, this, that, or the other, he talked about taking back territory or things that belong to us once upon a time. Now, here's the whole 9 yards. I'll use Cuba involved in this too. Back in 1960, when when the whole 9 yards came down in Cuba, Fidel Castro seized all assets that were on the island. All the big hotels, all the casinos were owned, a lot of them by the mafia. But they were seized by him, and that property, even though it did not belong to Cuba, belonged to other entities, that was all seized. Same thing happened there in Venezuela when Maduro and prior, when the communists took over in Venezuela, they took over portions of oil reserves and whatever that were leased to. I mean, you can still own the rights, you still own the product. In other words, Chevron was involved. Shell Oil is involved. These are the crazy things that they're talking about. In other words, now they're going to get paid back what was taken from them over the last 2 decades. In other words, they have legal rights on this stuff, but yet a criminal organization had taken it over. So this is the thing that Bernie Sanders is not, and the rest of the left is not talking about. In other words, not only are we getting rid of and this too is a fact down here too, that there's a big ordeal. I don't know if I'm not going to be able to show any pictures of it, although I have some, of several warehouses in Caracas that are manufacturing cocaine. That's right. Some of those bombs that went off overnight on the other night were striking those particular warehouses. That's the reason why they were multiples. They have to be very careful how they say this stuff, because Maduro was part of the cartel. He wasn't the head of the cartel. Of course, he was the leader of the country. That's why he stayed in motion. He did not win that election. And this also has a lot of bringing on about Smart Max and the rest of them as far as the elections were concerned. They stole our 2020 election. Now, with Maduro in prison here, you better believe he's going to sing like a canary. And that's going to let the whole world know, yes, Maduro was involved in it. So was the cartel and everybody. That's what they're so scared of. They don't, I don't want to put this. The Democrats, like Bernie Sanders, some of these people are so old that they don't even bother thinking anymore before they speak.
Yeah, exactly.
But you aren't hearing very much out of a lot of others too. I mean, Bernie, give me an example. Bernie Sanders is a Jew. He's been a Jew all his life. He's high up in the organization there in New York. Guess what? Here he is with Mondani, who just got done removing certain sanctions that were taken away by Mayor Adams, protecting the Jews from anti-Semitism. He just took it away. He was standing right there, right next to him when he said that. How the hell could you do that? That would have been, it's just crazy. But these people are not telling you the complete truth, and there's a lot more behind a lot of this. I guarantee you, a lot of it's shady business. But what they're talking about right now, it's the truth. It's there's a lot of oil, whatever, that belongs to companies, and you start to put some of these connections. You talk about California. Chevron they officially announced that they're gone from California. They're moving their headquarters to Houston.
They've closed the shop and moving out. Yeah.
Right, but the point behind it is Chevron.
California saying, "Oh, we hope that President Trump fires up these refineries and starts using that oil from Venezuela." I'm like, really? And this was from somebody from California. So it's like, really?
It's just not going to happen.
That ain't going to happen. But anyway,
no, it's not going to happen.
Real quick reminder, you guys, if you have something you want to say, just text "I want in" to that number above, and I'll call you back and we'll put you on the show, and you can actually talk live with us and just tell us what you think. Oh, and by the way, the shows that we're going to be doing is we'll talk about anything. It's not particularly just political. It's things are going on right now, so we just talk about whatever else on top of our mind. But I mean, if you want to talk about chemtrails or climate change or who knows what, aliens from another planet, hey, just call in. We'll talk about it. So anyway, let's finish this thing up with Bernie, because I do want to talk about the constitutionality of it.
And when artificial intelligence threatens millions of jobs, it is time for the president to focus on the crises facing this country and end the military adventurism abroad. Trump is failing in his job to run the the United States of America. He should not be trying to run Venezuela.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Of course, a lot of people think that, but I'm going to hit on, it's the, what they were referring to, it being unconstitutional. And a lot of them refer back to it, but apparently they don't know, or they haven't really read it. And that was from 1973. Law was passed. It was back when Nixon was in power, and a lot of it was over about the overreach of getting involved in Vietnam, and so it was an attempt to curb what the president can do. Now, one of the stipulations, and this is where they're getting this thing, it says that they have to consult Congress in every possible incident before introducing U.S. forces to hostilities. Now, we do know that if we were to announce to Congress anything that we're doing, that is the biggest leak we could have, is letting information out to the Congress. So them knowing that, they built into it saying, well, they have to notify Congress within 48 hours after doing so. Okay, so that's the absolute, the absolute minimum. So now, they did that, and by the minute he announced it, he's announcing it to everybody. Can't say, oh, well, he didn't give it to Congress. He was making it public information. So at the same time, I'm sure they sent a letter to Congress, because otherwise Congress might say, oh, well, you didn't tell us. But anyway, and then the other stipulation is when the Congress gets involved, it's all about whether they're going to withdraw forces, beyond the 60, 90 day, requirement. In other words, we could have up to 90 days for personnel in their country, and doesn't take any extra authorization unless Congress authorizes it or declares a declaration of war, one of the two. So it's kind of a wide open thing. And then when you talk about whether or not he has the power to do this, well, you had Bush going in and doing things. You had Obama. Obama was guilty of the same thing, like three major things while Obama was in, and even Biden's administration went in and did a few things. So it's just about Trump. It's always about Trump. If Trump does it, everybody gets upset. So I just thought I would throw that out there and talk about it a little bit more. But and
things are going to change, though.
Yeah, they went after him as a kind of a, what do they call it, narco terrorist kind of, about drugs and so forth. I mean, and back in 2020 is when they brought charges against him. Way back in 2020,
right?
5 years later, and of course, over 80% of the country feels that he was in their country. That he was in there illegitimately, that he rigged the whole thing, and then people disappeared that opposed it. There was one guy that did an analysis on the election, and all of a sudden he had to go into hiding because his findings weren't conclusive, and that ticked him off, and so all of a sudden he became a target. So anyway, there's that.
Oh yeah, I want to touch on one thing about Trump and Epstein. Everybody knows, with the exception of the left, that Donald Trump actually threw Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. And I always want to dispel one thing here too. I've seen this. I'll eventually be posting it up there. There were, I believe, 8 times that Donald Trump was on one of Epstein's planes, private planes. That's right. I believe it 8 or 9 times. However, all of these plane rides were either from New York to West Palm Beach or West Palm to New York, because it was between, I believe, 1993 and 1997. In other words, what I'm trying to get at is the point is that St. James or Epstein's Island was not purchased until 1998. So, in other words, when Trump was on a plane with one of the private planes that Epstein owned, Epstein did not have he did not have ownership of the island yet. So it just goes to show exactly how they try to twist. They don't want that getting out.
It's all about
but there's
yeah.
I mean, I really I feel for what's going on in Washington D.C. I really do, because Trump has got so much stuff on his shoulders that he needs to take care of. But it seems as though that swamp is so God blessed deep that who knows what's really going on. And it's just to the point now of what I believed all along is he needs to get a hold of the FHA. In other words, not FHA, the FAA needs to get a hold of those that are in charge of the airwaves for cable TV, for regular television broadcast, radio broadcast. They cannot continuously blast lies and false information, because it's nothing but propaganda, just like it was back in World War II. And even then, people, you hear people talking about, oh, Hitler this, Hitler that. They brought up the thing about that. Probably the biggest propaganda person that we could know of that's anywhere close to our lifetimes was Tokyo Rose from Japan. Tokyo Rose talked to our troops daily. They listened to her because she played American music.
Yeah.
And she was really the biggest one out of any of them. But you've never heard of that being brought up by any of the Democrats. They hate Trump so bad because, as you're starting to see now, look at this with the Somalians in Minnesota.
Yeah, you guys are fine.
Hang on, here we go. I got Andrew on
That
the
sounds
line.
like Andrew.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, John, did you lose weight?
Hey, Andrew.
He wants to know if you lost weight.
Yes, I have. Unfortunately, cancer does that to you.
Yeah, my sister-in-law, she's got that colon cancer, and she's having a rough time at it, too. So I know what you're going through.
Well, mine is right here. Here's where mine is right here. It's inside here. It's actually in the canal that goes to the breathing canal here. They can't operate on it, so it's not operable. I believe it is.
I've got a Milwaukee drill. We can fix you up, John.
Oh, I can fix that up too. But I'm going in 2 more weeks. So I'm going to be going for. I guess I'm going to stay for 5 days, and it's they call it radiotherapy.
Wow.
It's where it's a heavy blast. It's probably going to do some damage to my face and whatever, but they say it's a lot better than cutting half my nose off and everything else. I have to get to stuff, but they can't get it right now because it's malignant.
That's
and so far,
a whole new meaning to cutting your nose off to spite your face.
yeah, that's right. So yeah, it's
I understand what you're going through, Dave, and John, and you got my sympathy, but you going to get your phone back or what?
my what?
John, you're going to get your phone back?
My phone. I've got it.
Oh, is it a new one or it's the same one?
Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's my daughter's. My daughter has my phone, and I've got hers.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you just switched them around. Okay.
Right, because what did was they locked everything up that had to do with the tube. Everything was locked up.
Yeah, my sister-in-law, she's got like a softball-sized tumor in her colon.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's no fun.
She lives down in Mexico or Tijuana. Anyway, thing is, we're helping her every step of the way over here because this is all new for everybody, and we want to make sure everything gets done right by Kaiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to have to get something figured out about this GoFundMe stuff like that, because the amount of gasoline. I mean, fortunately for me, this one neighbor that we used to borrow his car every once a month. He's been more than gracious. He borrows it. I don't know. It's one of his family members. The other car, when we were there for 5 days, about a month ago. But I mean, gasoline. We're talking about a trip that takes us 5 hours to get there.
Ouch.
That's where this hospital is. Yeah, it's kind of like living in Miami, Florida, and having to go to Atlanta for your hospital.
Gotcha. 'Cause,
Long drive.
she has that, she gets that tumor out. We have to take her up to Sacramento. That's about 3 to 4 hour drive too. So I know what you're talking about. As long as you got somebody to help you out, John, that's all. That's what matters.
Yeah. Well, and
Well,
right
we've
now,
got nobody. We still don't know about we still don't know about paying the hospital yet either. We haven't paid them anything. We don't have any money.
Oh shit.
yeah,
And-
that's the other thing.
So we don't.
They could cut
we're,
them
we're,
off.
we're just hoping we don't get a little surprise from them. They can't operate on it. That we found out the last time we were there 2 weeks ago. They said they cannot operate on it. In other words, in other words, I'll be gone and I'll be dead in a few weeks. They said they'll just can't do it. So in other words, but fortunately, it doesn't feel like it's growing
Yeah,
anymore either.
We posted it in the comments, Andrew.
Okay.
So it's,
Gotcha.
yeah, the exact spelling. All righty.
'Cause that's
All right.
bullshit. Hey, John, that's bullshit. I even text. Yeah, I guess you could say that. With straight to YouTube, that's bullshit. And I'm not ready to switch over to Twitch because this is bullshit. What they did
Oh,
to
it was my Christmas gift. They got me the 24th, 25th, and 26th of December. Christmas
Yeah,
Eve, Christmas
boom,
Day, and the
boom,
day after Christmas. Big.
Let me tell you something.
And I actually knew it on Christmas Day that they were going to do that to me, is because even though I still had one strike left to go, my posts were disabled. And I'm going like, wait a minute, there's something wrong here. It's not supposed to be
Yeah.
disabled. I still have them. And
No.
of course, I found out the very next day when all of a sudden everything just disappeared.
They want to get rid of you altogether.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Oh, yeah.
That's too.
Yeah.
But
Well, just make sure that you go in and subscribe to his new channel. And all of us is going to have to go do that.
no problem. But, hey, Dave, go ahead and send me the text on my phone.
Okay, will do.
Just
Will
be
do,
sure.
man. All right. Well, I
Be sure
appreciate
got your phone.
you coming on, Andrew.
No.
Yeah, Andrew, good talking to you again. Now you know where that phone number comes from.
I ain't done talking to you guys yet. Now.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about Seahawks now, all right? We're talking about Seahawks now.
Okay, tell us.
We are going to take the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's your prediction, huh? For sure.
No. It's not a prediction. It's a fact. Look,
Yeah.
the Seattle Seahawks got the best defense in the league, AFC or NFC. We took out the best offense in the league last night, and we shut them out.
Yeah.
That was a great game, and we got the game. All the playoffs is coming to Seattle now.
All right. Yeah. Well, I myself have never really followed along. I only watch the big games, and that's whoever makes it there. But I'm not a
Well,
fan.
you guys know how I am about
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'd like to see my Miami Hurricanes win the national championship after 20 some odd years.
Oh, you follow up on college?
Follow college?
I'm an alumni from the University of
Oh,
Miami.
alumni.
I'm an alumni.
Oh, okay, well that's good. But we're talking about the big boys here
That's
now.
before they had a football team, so to speak.
Yeah, John was before they even knew what football was. Yeah.
That's before they had the NX on it. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Okay, guys, I'll be watching.
Okie dokie. All righty, Andrew. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. All right. Bye-bye. Well, that was a good test to see how the line worked.
Yeah.
And if anybody's
Well,
interested for the up and coming show and you want to get on the list, text I want in to the number above on the screen, and we'll give you a call. And remember, we talk about just about anything. We're experts at nothing, but just
That's
about,
right.
like-minded people getting together and kind of chatting about what's going on or what's on their mind and so forth. But real quick, all these people were talking about how it was just terrible that we went in there and took over Venezuela and so forth. But I want you to watch this. This is the reaction of a group of kids that were doing a live down there when they found out about what was going on. Check this out.
Unas.
Somebody's calling me right now.
Yeah.
Marico, me cagué muy feo, bro. Ustedes no pueden llegar a hacer stream, bro, y espantarme así, brother. A Caracas. Papi, estos coños llegan, papi, me llegan a la...
Papi.
¿En serio? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Hermano, sí. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó?
Yeah. Now, are they upset? I don't think so.
Dave, if I can iterate on this one here.
Yeah.
I've got the videos in Miami. Thousands of people, and I repeat, thousands of people crammed downtown Miami are just jubilant that this had happened at Madeira. They're all around the world. You get into Spain, where there's a heavy Venezuelan population there. They're just all over the streets in Spain. As a matter of fact, even in Argentina, they're out there by the thousands. In South America, all over the place. Even here in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro and in Sao Paulo, people are just they're touting, they're saying God bless Trump.
This is Venezuelans in Florida.
Yeah, I think that might be the one from Miami. Yeah, I think that's Miami.
Yeah. So, I mean, to say that, let me see, what's this one? This one, this is a short. Let's see. Well, this is in the country.
Today, justice is being served. Justice is being served for all Venezuelans who left our country to demonstrate who we are. We are fighters, we entrepreneurs, we are good people. But we want to return to our country to rebuild, move forward, and continue being that force that we have always been. Live Venezuela.
I'm obviously very happy about everything that happened. This is the start of the end of the dictatorship of Venezuela. I would like to take advantage of this platform to say thank you to President Donald Trump, who has been on top of this the whole time, working to help my country, Venezuela, hand in hand with Maria Corina to achieve liberty.
And then, let's see, I got this one. Where's this one? It said celebrating. This is at the embassy in Lima,
Peru.
Thank you, Lisette. Let's see, I've got so many different ones. I think this one's somebody else.
There's another one too. There was a large assembly of several thousand people in New York. And I mean, they're just the Venezuelans who live. There's a lot of Venezuelans who live in New York City.
This one right
and
here.
they just were. But there was also one that was paid by the leftists. And there was only a couple dozen of them.
So much.
Yeah. So, anyways, for all those out there that are saying that, well, somebody's calling. Oh. Let's see if I can answer this. There we go. Are you there?
Oh, yeah, this is James Duggan Snuff, and I wanted to call in on this show you got going on here.
Yeah, well, you got that funny British accent whenever you use that special voice.
Let's see, what voice would I be using? Are you talking about when I do a Somali voice?
Yeah, I thought that was funny. You were doing your Somalian British accent.
Somalian from William?
It's a lot of and stuff, and I'm just like...
And click, click, click.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, anybody that's wondering, that this is William Archibald from Ratchet Productions. We contribute to each other every once in a while. And so I'm trying to.
We go way far. We go so far back, man. It's like, you know, it's like a thing. Yeah, well, I thought you were starting your stream at 6 o'clock.
Oh, we are. This was just to get the telephone number out there. Hey, Lisette says, "Oh my God! Hey, William." I know you can't see it, but
Let's see. What I need to do, what I'm really working on is my, what's her name? Ilhan Omar. She speaks up when she's like, I'm on David Callie, and like, you know, and I haven't done any kind of fraud, and so I need to figure out a way to not sound like a British person doing that. So,
yeah. So anyway, basically, we're running this right now, getting the telephone, reminding people to call the number up there. Well, not call the number, but text so we know who it is because it's spam. Otherwise, if I just answer every time the phone rings, we might, have to put up with somebody trying to sell an insurance plan or something to me. But
or they could be real drunk and be saying stuff like, "Don't say manipulated elections." They go, "No." You're like, "Damn."
yeah. So
I've been day drinking on Sunday. I think I'll call in today's channel. You're like, damn. No. Yeah, that's another thing. If you call in, let us know if you've been day drinking ahead of time.
yeah. All right.
It's okay to get started, but don't, people on Sunday mornings can be kind of rough.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see what works well. I mean, I don't know. It's I know I'm going to have to do this several times before people kind of get used to doing it, because I talked to a couple of other guys that have been doing it, and he says it takes 3-4 weeks before you start getting responses, because I guess people are leery of trying it the first time. So,
well, just pretend like it back in the day. Radio stations, they used to call them, say, "Call in to make requests," and nobody was afraid to do that. They would call in and say, "I want to hear
right.
UFOs electric phase," or play some sample. But now people, since the radio stations have all been conglomerated and bought up by companies that George Soros owned, they've eliminated all the human contact. So now you just hear really crappy music, and you can't even talk to a real DJ. Well, we're going to bring that back. You can call in and request for be like, "Yeah, I want to hear something about what's going on with so and so." We'll do that. It's sort of like a Reddit, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I've seen you've been working overtime here lately.
Well, yeah, I actually just got back from picking up a really old Cub Cadet 682. It's a riding mower that's like, it's red. It's not the white and yellow that you normally see.
Right.
It's got I think it's probably a Briggs opposed twin cylinder. Got a hydrostatic transmission. It could be Kohler because Cub Cadet use a lot of.
And that's it. The engine's in the rear, right?
No, those are that's a Gravely's there's in the rear.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about that one. Yeah.
No, this is a new old mower. I just picked this up today. It's on the trailer. I've got to guess why. I was like, I looked and seen that you were streaming, and I said, "No," because I need to get this thing unloaded. And so I'm getting ready to fire up the skid steer with the fork and get it off the trailer. And then I'm going to sit with Stephanie for just a little bit. Then we'll get on our streamy.
Yeah. All right. Well, you get out of here and go get it done. And we're just messing around, getting prepped for the show for later.
Oh, yeah. Hey, William, I got another channel.
Yes. You started a new channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to.
I'll send you the link. Yeah.
Okay. Well, here, rule number one. You need to quit not putting yourself in the videos and stuff.
Got to put your face in there.
You gotta put your damn face in there with your damn big old FU cancer nose and shit.
Yeah. All right. Oh,
Yeah.
Lisette wants to ask how Stephanie is doing in the baby.
She's doing well. She rode an hour and a half with me in an old Ford truck to pick this thing up, and I shook her and the baby to death.
Oh yeah, You went over the bumps easy, right?
With the trailer hooked to the back of it, 78 Ford, and it's loud. It's got a 416-inch 3/4 header, and we're riding around. Whoa!
Yeah.
Like, the whole time look on her face was she's like, this was not a good idea.
All right. All right. Well, we better let you go get your stuff done, so we'll get prepped for later on.
Yeah, we're getting it done.
All righty, brother.
I'll see you. I will see y'all. All right.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye, Lisette.
Later.
Bye, John. I'll talk to you later. Later.
All right.
Yeah. Then my other phone is coming up, blowing up right now.
Is there a way to get the volume up a little louder on the phone?
That's what I was trying to figure out, where the microphone is on this. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to,
Yeah.
I don't know where the microphone is on this computer. I don't know. Let me see. I know. I'll call. And you tell me if you can hear it better in a certain spot.
Okay.
And then
Sounds
everybody out there will be, there's Will Fitz. He's on there. Hello, Andrew. Okay, so let's try this. Boy, it sounds like I had a key stick. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, decline. There we go.
Hello, you have contacted the Dave Not in Cali show line. If you want to talk live on the show,
Tell me if it
text
gets
your name
louder.
and say I want in. You can text anytime before.
It's good. It's a good volume right now.
You don't accept
That's
any
lower.
this time. Thank you for contacting us.
That's
If you want
perfect
to
right there.
question, do so after the beep.
Okay, so
Perfect.
maybe I'll put it over there. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, everybody got to hear the recording. Andrew says he can
Yeah.
hear it fine. Can everybody hear William fine out there? Maybe just on your end. See, that's. Well, I tell you what, I'll put the. Well, before we start the show, I'll just do a little research and find out where the heck the microphone is on this. Or maybe I'll just plug another mic in and set it right next to the mic, something like that.
Yeah, we've been live for almost 45 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's mostly
That's
just
pretty cool.
Yeah,
It just went like that.
Yeah, I know. Well, when you're having fun. Yeah, well, and there's no real plan here either, so it was just kind of, hit and miss. But
Well, I like it better
we did
shooting
hit
from the hip.
on the few topics. We're gonna talk about all these other topics again, later.
Yes. There's really so much going on.
Yeah. So
One thing that I
Andy
can't.
could hear okay, and so did Lisette. Okay, guys. Well, we appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to end this live stream, and then I'm going to hang out with John for a bit and see if I can't get the microphone issue situated so he can hear a little bit better on his end. And hey, we'll see you. Remember, it's going to be 5 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific time. So hopefully we'll get some people to call in or text in, I should say. All righty.
It's
Bye-bye,
7 o'clock,
guys.
7 p.m. Brazil.
All right. I'll call you handsome. Okay.